There once was a bull who spent much time grazing in a pasture. The area was peaceful for an animal so large. But the bull wasn't the only animal in that field, for there was also a gnat, who recklessly landed atop the bull's horn. The gnat's name was Matt, and he thought himself greater than anyone else around. He made this clear by proclaiming,
"What a journey this has been! This spot will suffice as my resting spot. My, this fine beast should be honored I chose this horn to land on."
While Matt once stood a quarter-inch tall, he had a lot of nerve for such a tiny insect. He was so bold that he fashioned himself a king of this land.
"This meadow is my kingdom, and all should bow down to me. But this view is astonishing, and I shall observe my kingdom from this new height."
Matt then pulled out his royal telescope, which he thought to be a symbol of power.
"I can see for miles with the height of this view. What a fine spot this is. I could get used to a life like this."
But Matt was suddenly shaken by a rumbling below as the bull raised his head from grazing. This caused Matt to stumble, dropping his telescope down onto the bull's mighty back.
"What a tragedy this is! This bull has destroyed my telescope with his foolish actions."
So there he flew to check the damage of the telescope. As he feared it was beyond repair, Matt averted his flight, stopping at the bull's ear to let him know what he had done.
"You have made a mess of my telescope! What were you thinking? Have you no consideration for others' property?"
As the gnat continued to rant, the bull then noticed the gnat on his left, then stated, "I have no clue what you're referring to."
"Surely you do. You made me drop my telescope on your head, and now I am so upset."
But the bull was not bothered, as he didn't even notice the now infuriated gnat on his horn, nor did he feel the telescope. "I'm terribly sorry to hear about your telescope. It was not my intention to cause you to drop it. If you don't mind me asking, could you remind me who you are?"
"Is this some joke? Do you not know who I am? For I am the great Matt the Gnat, and don't you forget it."
Matt was so angered by the bull's non-recognition that he quickly sped off to the different direction. But the bull was puzzled by the reaction Matt gave. He said to himself, "Running away from your problems? Well, that's not very brave. There are not such a reason to angrily fly away." So the bull carried on his uneventful day, but the bull knew a lesson which Matt knew too. He shared, "Some problems are so small we need not to care. We see ourselves bigger than what we actually are, but we must remember our role both near and afar. We are often of greater importance in our own eyes than in the eyes of our neighbor. The smaller the mind, the greater the ego."